Hey, welcome to day 13 of our Get Up and Go Challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and today we are going to talk about the O in our SOAP framework. Yesterday we met with our imaginary friend, or had a chat with our imaginary friend, and I smile every time I do this because it's so fun. So George and I had a chat, and the first thing we decided and chatted about was, what relationship am I going to work on over these next 4 days? What relationship is primary and most important, and do I want to work on? Now, I have covered my intimate relationship, having a significant other, finding a significant other, in a couple of the challenges before, which is the most uncomfortable topic for me personally to share. And so this time I decided I'm not doing that relationship. I'm going to do the relationship with a brand new addition to the family named Quinlan Rose. She just arrived exactly, not quite a week ago today, but a week ago today. She's 6 days old, and my daughter, I am legally blind, so I currently reside with my daughter and her husband and their brand new baby. So George and I discussed that probably the most important relationship for me right now, besides the relationship with myself, which is always, by the way, our primary number one most important relationship, bar none, is figuring out where I fit in this new family structure, and how do I, be helpful, and that's where the story comes in. We talk about our situation. What's the current situation? Current situation, a week ago was the three of us. We were clicking along, doing our own thing, and fine. All of a sudden, a few weeks early, by the way, arrives a beautiful baby girl, and home in a couple of, 3 days, and then how do we all work together and fit in, and how do I, show them the love and support that they need without feeling like I'm in the way, or them feeling like I'm horning in too much. Horne is my last name, so it just comes naturally for me, and not step on their toes, so that they can become the family unit that they want to be, and I'm just kind of on the side. That's my desired statement, desired outcome. I want to be part of the family, but not in the way. So George and I had a long, lengthy conversation about that, because he knows me, and he knows I tend to be a little bossy and butt-in-ski sometimes, and I need to work on my listening skills and not interrupt and interject my opinion when it is not needed, because they're an incredible couple, and they can problem solve and figure things out so well together. They've been through so much in their 5+ years of marriage, and so it's really interesting watching them work. So that was the S, and I love the imaginary friend exercise. If you didn't try it, I encourage you to go and do it. Does it feel kind of silly and foolish when you first do it? Yes, but after you've done it for a while, it's like being with your best friend and having a conversation with your best friend, yet they know you really, really well, but they don't judge and criticize and be the devil's advocate all the time in a negative way. They can do it in a positive way. They can point out the things about you that you know about, but you don't necessarily want to see. So today, that leads us to the, okay, I know where I am. Now, where do I want to be? And I actually, with story, we talk about what the situation is, and then what we want it to be. That creates this gap in between, because we're almost never exactly where we want to be ideally in any situation or any area of or aspect of our life. That's what keeps us moving forward and progressing and creating the life that we want. So O, the big O, is all about options, possibilities, solutions to filling that gap, because that gap is kind of a problem for us, right? Because we want to fill that gap. So the O is all about what else is possible. What are our options? So what are the O's with respect to this relationship? How can I fill that gap from where we are to where I want us to be, to where I guess from where I am to where I want myself to be in terms of behavior, because I can only ever control my part in the equation, right? And I can do that by my behavior, my feelings, my actions, what I do. So what we want to do is we want to start thinking about and coming up with possible ideas that will take me from where I am to where I want to be. So I want to have an incredible relationship with my brand new granddaughter, right? I want to have and continue to have a great relationship with my daughter and my son-in-law. So what's it going to take? What are the possible ways of making sure that I can do, actions I can take to make sure that happens? A lot of times, we as human beings think in absolutes. We think it's either my way or the highway. It's either A or B. It's either black or white, and there's nothing in between. But the truth of the matter is there's always almost infinite possibilities and infinite options and infinite ways of doing something, dealing with something, feeling about something. So today, the tool that we're going to use to help come up with those ideas is something I stole from my granddaughter preschool, and it's called the Imagination Station. And I think they're doing it even in kindergarten, where they have a station in their classroom where they go and they just play and use their imaginations. Now, you don't have to create an actual station. I just create an imagination station in my mind where I can just go, and I create this beautiful place that I feel comfortable, and in my mind I just go there, I relax, and I think about and just come up with idea after idea after idea without judging any of them, of things that could possibly fill that gap, things that I could do to fill that gap and make the situation and create the situation exactly how I want it to be. So today, I'm going to ask you to either go to a place you feel really, really comfortable and just spend some time. I use paper and pencil. I think that the most powerful thing that we can do to continuously improve and make our lives work is to write things down. And so I say, grab a piece of paper, a scrap of paper. If I'm in the park or going for a walk, I always have at least a little tablet, a little notebook, or some Post-it notes in my pocket, in one of my pockets, or in my, yes, I walk with a fanny pack, much to my daughter's chagrin. Sometimes I have a little backpack too, but sometimes I walk with a fanny pack and she just shakes her head. She's like, really, Mom? Didn't those go out in the, 80s? Were they popular in the 80s or the 90s? I don't remember. Anyway, it's definitely been decades since they were a popular thing. Unless you hike and you go around and you want your hands free to climb and do things, or to keep your balance so you don't fall down. So today we're going to share 3 things, and I specifically want you to share 3 possible things that you could do to fill the gap in the relationship that you're working on. Yesterday you should have picked your relationship. What relationship are you working on? And then explored this story with your imaginary friend about what is going on right now and what you want it to look like. And we're coming up with options and possibilities to fill that gap. I want you to come up with at least 3 and share 3 so we get out of that black and white thinking, so we don't believe and get stuck. Because I don't know about you, but hundreds of times in the past, I have felt like I was between a rock and a hard place, and I was stuck there, and I could either do one thing or the other, neither of which felt very good to me, only to realize that there were a whole lot of other things that I could do besides one thing or the other. I just had boxed myself into thinking that I was limited on the number of options that I had. And so this whole day, the whole O of the SOAP framework is to get us, giving ourselves permission to think about all the different crazy possible ways we could deal with the situation, or all the crazy things that could happen, or unexpected, delightful things that could happen to help us get from where we are to where we want to be. I hope that's clear. If you have any questions, ask me in the comments below. Otherwise, get going. Get up and go do your O for your SOAP today. Enjoy your time in your imagination station. You can create it. If you do it in your mind like I do, you can do it anywhere, anytime. You just put out for a walk. You can just enjoy the environment I'm in, or I can sit down on a bench or a rock, and I can just go inside and I can imagine the situation that I want to find solutions to. Guess what? This SOAP framework works for everything. It doesn't just work for challenges and change. It works for any kind of problem solving or any kind of dilemma that you find yourself in. All right, have an awesome day. I'll be with you tomorrow. I'm going to go do my O and come up with options on how I can create the perfect relationship with my living environment. All right, have a great day.